Hi, Sexy J. Quick and dirty time on digital SAT. As promised, continuation of the vocab patterns and strategies. So today's is the advanced vocab, okay? But that by itself doesn't really give you an idea of how to approach it, okay? Advanced vocab contrast. That's going to be, apparently I have to write it over here. Advanced vocab contrast. Excuse the handwriting, as always, okay? So this is, again, a Khan Academy problem. And we are looking at a pretty long text, honestly, right? But I can tell that this might be something I have to pay attention to the longer text because, number one, the vocab questions are in order of difficulty. So 1 through 6, right? Number 1 and 2, you can probably do it pretty easily. But if it's question number 5, question number 6, I might have to look at more of the text. Number 2, look at the vocabulary here. Do you guys know what dogmatic means? If you do, that's great. That will make this a lot easier. But a lot of times you will not know what that means because this is not a word that's commonly used around the world at the high school level, right? If you are a high schooler and you regularly hear the words dogmatic, that probably means you live in a super political environment, honestly. So I don't even know if that's a good thing. Okay, so let's look at this. Because of the word dogmatic and because of the fact that this will probably be one of the later questions, I know I have to read more of the text, okay? If I'm reading more of the text, the one thing you want to watch out for, as is the topic of the video, the advanced questions can come from not just the elevated level of the vocabulary, which does happen. Again, dogmatic is an elevated vocab. But the other thing is the contrast, which I wrote with some difficulty on the side. Okay, so contrast. Let's highlight some words here that mean contrast. Okay, I have rejecting, which is contrast. Ew, that's a terrible highlighter. My bad. Okay, so I'm just going to rejecting. That's a contrast. What else? Diverged, and I have more, okay? So I'm really concerned about Johnson's self-effacement diverged from these guys, okay? So then I know that my guys are different from Johnson because diverge means to go away from, right? Diverge means to go away from. So they are different from Johnson. Okay, W.E.B. Du Bois and Alan Locke, whose decisions for their publications were more something else. Okay, so before I go back to the text, let's just look at how a contrast works. If I said Johnson was super funny, then here, if my guys are different from Johnson, my guys might be, they're different, and Du Bois, and I don't want to write the other name, they are more serious. Okay. So Johnson's a funny guy, but these guys who diverge, aka who are different, they're more serious. So that type of logic is what I'm looking for, okay? So what is Johnson like according to the text? Johnson fostered his contributors' diverse perspectives by promoting their authorial autonomy. Again, look at how much more elevated the vocabulary is. We have authorial autonomy. Autonomy is one of those words we should know. Autonomy means self-ruling. Auto means self, right? So in easier words, I also want to get used to just okay, what does that mean? Johnson, let me get rid of these things so I have more room. Johnson allowed freedom and independence. Okay, I'm just replacing the word autonomy with more common synonyms, okay? Johnson allows for more freedom and more independence. So then I want, okay, these guys are different from Johnson, so they are more strict. They are more controlling. Okay? Is what I would need. Wow. Yeah. So then I need something that means strict or controlling. I need to get it down to this level of, I want something that's close to the meaning of more strict, more controlling. Otherwise, especially with the high-level vocab, and also, as I said in the last video, you guys can run into the trap of just plugging the words in and it can all sound correct. You don't want to do that, okay? So, I want something that means they are more strict or more controlling. More ambiguous, definitely wouldn't fit. More proficient also doesn't work. That just, proficient means they're good at stuff, right? Unpretentious means like he's like a humble guy. So, unrelated. So, out of these, I would argue for most people, dogmatic is the highest level word, and A, C, and D are the more familiar words. But I was able to eliminate all of them because they didn't really go along with, okay, would this mean the guy is more strict or more controlling? Not necessarily, right? If a person is ambiguous, proficient, or unpretentious, that's not really related to being strict or controlling. Now, Finally, the grand reveal, right? What does dogmatic mean? I always ask the questions to the camera because the camera doesn't talk back. Dogmatic means you are very stubborn, you're very set in your ways, and you are very firm with your beliefs. That's the definition of dogmatic. Okay, so somebody's stubborn and set in their ways, is that related to being strict or controlling? Yes. Okay, and this is the last note here. The best word to put here would have been a synonym for controlling. Okay, but because this is the advanced question in the SAT, did they do that for you? No. Okay, so you do have to take a little bit of an inferential step. Okay, so I did not have they were more controlling. I had they were stubborn and they were more firm in their beliefs. They were more unchanging. They were unflexible. Could that mean that they are more controlling? Yes. And you only do this type of inference for the vocab, but it's okay because it's the vocab question. Okay, so I'm pretty glad that you guys asked for the vocab series, because I have had a mind of not doing the vocab, because honestly, without breaking it down like this, of going, okay, it's a contrast, and also I don't need exact synonym, this question would be really, really hard to do. Again, if somebody wrote this sentence in an English class, in an English paper, they put in the word dogmatic, I would raise an eyebrow. Be like, is that really the word you mean to use there? But can we argue against College Board? This is why I'm using a kind of Canadian problem. Okay, it's not a problem I made. This is from College Board, right? They do this, okay? This is not the best word to put here, but they did it anyway, okay? So if you guys want more breakdowns on vocab questions or any other questions, feel free to leave me in the comments, right? And I will get to answering all the comments as soon as my wrist heals up a little bit more and I feel more comfortable typing. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you for watching. Study every day. Sexy J. It's the best way. You already know. Bye-bye.